CYC is a free channel, presents the Word of God for everyone. Your support will help us to continue the mission. Visit our website, cycnow.com. Even $1 will make a difference.
And the Son and the Holy Spirit, one God, amen. All right, very excited about our talk today because we are going to focus in on something that we kind of just covered at a very high level in lecture number 1, a little bit in lectures 2 and 3. So today for lecture 4, we're going to focus on something. We're going to focus on being the follower, right? Being the follower, because as you guys have said many, many times, a leader is nothing without followers. Without followers, you're not going to get anything done. And I think Romani was saying something. Where's Romani, by the way? Where's Romani? Yeah, Romani was saying something, just beautiful. He was saying that the follower is just as important as the leader, right? So, yeah, that's called calling out, so never do that in your life ever again. Yeah, and now I'm not calling on you. So the follower is just as important as the leader, okay? Just 1 second, I'm good. We'll see. So, what are we talking about? First, I want to go through what we've discussed so far. Can everybody see what's going on up here? Yes? No? Yes? Yes. All right, good. So, the first thing we've discussed is that there are some problems related to leaders and leadership and leaders, right? What is a leader? What does a leader do? Is being a leader better? These are things that we discussed already, so you kind of know the answers to lots of these questions. Number 2 is what is a leader and what is a follower? So we learned that a leader is what? A leader is what? Is someone who can create change. Yeah, is it someone who can create change, or what else did we say? We said at the end it's what that can create change? Okay, first we said it was someone that can create change, and then we said what? It's anyone who can create change, right? So a leader is anyone, right? Then we said what a follower is. We said that a follower is a critical and independent thinker who is a cooperator. So a follower is anyone who cooperates. A follower, by definition, get this guys, a follower by definition is also a leader. You need to be a leader to be a good follower, right? So you can lead through your followership. It's a new word, followership. Not a new word, but a new one you probably haven't heard before. The next thing we learned about is that the importance of good followership, that we need followers to get things done. We learned who here is a leader and who here is a follower. So who here is a follower, by the way? Just wondering, just a question. Okay, so I guess we haven't really learned anything in the last 2 days. So who here is actually a follower? That was really beautiful, but you called out, but it was beautiful. All right, who here is a leader? Okay, there should be the same amount of hands going up, and all the hands should go up to both questions, right? We're all followers and we're all leaders, right? All right, leaders are assessed by what? Just read it, guys, just read it. Are assessed by what? Task and relationship. A good leader is someone who's high on task and high on relationship. They want to get the job done and they're very focused on that, and at the same time they're very focused on their relationship with the people, and we're going to see, or we have seen some examples. We learned that followers are assessed by independent critical thinking and activity. What's the opposite of being active? Being inactive. That's almost, but that's just the negative of it. But what's the opposite of it? Apathetic? No, being apathetic is like not caring, but I'm talking, it's yes. Okay, wait, I'm sorry, I'm forgetting something. Please wait till the mic comes to you. I'm getting too excited. All right.
The opposite of active is passive.
Yes, very good. So being passive is the opposite of being active, right? So whether or not you're active or passive tells you what type of follower you are, and whether or not you're an independent and critical thinker tells you what type of follower you are. I want to tell you guys something. A few days ago on Friday, I was working with a young person who had just graduated from high school, and I was asking this young woman to help us plan a retreat for the college and graduates, right? And after, like, I just asked her to help me, and then I was telling her, hey, we're gonna need to do this and this and that. And she started asking me all these questions and saying, but Makar, what if you do this is not gonna work. If you do that, that might be good. What if we say it this way? And for some reason, my mind just got so happy. I said, wow, it's so refreshing to work with someone like this who is helping me think, right? Someone who's questioning my own thoughts. Even though I was asked to lead the organization of that retreat, but if I didn't have this person, I would in no way be able to do half of the things that are getting done. Of course, it's all by the grace of God. But you see that being a good follower is very important. That we have to support our leaders by being good followers, right? And leading through our following. The next thing is that we talked about integrity and the science of leadership. Integrity, guys, tell me. Integrity means that you do what? To be in integrity, you have to honor your word, right? And honoring your word means two things. That you either what? What did Verena say? You either keep your word, or as soon as you can't keep your word, you let the people who are counting on you know, and you do what with the mess? You clean it up, right? So you either keep your word, or as soon as you find out you can't keep it, you let the people know who are counting on you that you can't keep it, and you clean up the mess. That's integrity, right? And to be in integrity means that you are what? What's the word? Kiro, can you pass the mic to Anton? Okay. Anton's going to tell us. What does it mean to be in integrity? It means, it's one word I'm looking for, two words.
Being whole.
Being whole, right? Something is whole, it's complete, right? So when something is complete, it has access to its full potential. Very good. The next thing, Marianne spoke to us about this, now actually Dr. Henney spoke to us about this, is the qualities of a leader. Can anybody tell me 3 of the 9 qualities that he discussed? All right, go ahead, Nardine, right here.
Delegation.
Delegation, very good. That's one of, okay.
Vision.
Vision, very good. Wait, okay, let's give other people a chance. That was an excellent job. Let's do Romani and then we'll do Marina. Direct? Okay, like they didn't give directions. Very good, okay. And Marina, back there?
Humility and assertiveness.
Humility and what? Assertiveness, very good. Mira? Communication, excellent. And okay, wow, a lot of you guys created qualities. That's really good.
Being a role model.
Being a good role model, yes, back there. Courage, very good. Because sometimes a leader needs to do things that are very difficult to do. Let's get one more. Any more?
Leadership.
Okay, that's like the most obvious answer I've ever heard. All right, so that's really good. And also we learned about important leadership skills, right? Let me tell you some of them, like listening. Listening is one of them. Another one that Marianne spoke about is that it's important to be able to give constructive criticism. I'll tell you guys something, when you get older, you're going to find this all the time. It's very, very hard to get good feedback from people. You can beg for it, you can ask for it. What do I need to do to improve? What do I need to do to change? And you will find people who are in very senior positions can't tell you what things you need to do to change or to improve. This is a very difficult skill to have. So for today, we want to talk about 2 key points. The first one is that every leader is a follower, and we said that. Actually, no, we didn't say that. Did we say that? No, we said every follower is a leader. But we said every leader is a follower? Yes. Okay, you guys are paying attention. So every leader is a follower, very good. And every good follower is a leader. Okay, so this is the 2 points we're going to focus on today. So I want to go through some personalities in the Bible to tell you how they didn't follow so well. Right? There's one example that followed very perfectly. I'm sure you're going to figure that one out. And we're going to go through some examples of people who didn't follow so well. And we're going to read lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of verses. And then I'm going to tell you top 10 things to look for when you're choosing a leader for yourself. Okay, top 10 things to look for when you're choosing a leader for yourself. So we want to talk about 5 personalities from the Bible. The first one, if you can read, you can figure this out. Who's the first one? Aaron. Aaron was whose brother? Moses' brother, right? Is that in the Old Testament or the New Testament? Wrong. No, it is in the Old Testament. Very good. All right, so let's go through the first set of verses. So the anger of the Lord was kindled against Moses. Guys, no matter what happens, no matter what happens again, please look at me and look at the screen. That's it, okay? Even if somebody's like punching you in the face, just say, you can keep punching me, I just have to look straight. That's it. I am, thank you. So, the anger of the Lord was kindled against Moses, and he said, is not Aaron the Levite your brother? I know that he can speak well, and look, he is also coming out to meet you. When he sees you, he will be glad in his heart. Now you shall speak to him and put the words in his mouth. And I will be with your mouth and with his mouth, and I will teach you what you shall do. So he shall be your spokesman to the people, and he himself shall be as a mouth for you, and you shall be to him as God. So, God set up the role of being a follower for Aaron, right? God said Aaron is going to follow Moses. Moses is going to tell Aaron what to do, and Aaron is going to go and do it. So being a follower was something for Aaron that was ordained by God. He said, listen, Moses, I'm going to ordain a follower for you. This is Aaron. You're going to tell him what to do, and he's going to say it. But I want you to see that even though being a great follower means that you are also a leader, Aaron made a mistake when he was being a leader. After the Israelites left Egypt and they crossed the Red Sea and they had all these miracles happen, Moses went up on the mountain to get the 10 commandments from God the first time, right? And this is what happened. Please guys read along while I'm reading. Now when the people saw that Moses delayed coming down from the mountain, the people gathered together to Aaron and said to him, come, make us gods that shall go before us, for as for this Moses, the man who brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we do not know what has become of him. And Aaron said to them, what did he say? Break off the golden earrings which are in the ears of your wives, your sons, and your daughters, and bring them to me. So all the people broke off the golden earrings which were in their ears, and brought them to Aaron, and he received the gold from their hand, and he fashioned it with an engraving tool, and made a molded calf. Then they said, this is your God, O Israel, that brought you out of the land of Egypt. So when Aaron saw it, he built an altar before it, and Aaron made a proclamation and said, tomorrow is a feast to the Lord. What is the great mistake that Aaron made? Aaron was a follower of Moses, right? He followed Moses. Moses followed God. So Aaron was following God by doing the right thing and following Moses. And then Moses went up on the mountain, and Aaron was the person who was left down at the foot of the mountain leading the people. And then Aaron fell under so much pressure under the people that he broke, right? He failed in his followership, right? He failed in being a good follower. What to look for in a leader? Number one is look for someone who's committed to her vision or committed to his vision. So you need to, when you're choosing a leader, and I want you to choose very carefully, you have to choose someone who's committed to what they're talking about. It's very easy, guys, to follow people who sound nice. But you don't want just somebody who sounds nice, but you want someone who is willing to live up to what they're saying, to what that thing is that sounds really nice. So this is the first thing. I'll tell you why. Because you can be following someone and then they're like, you really believe that everything they're saying is just beautiful and lovely, and then all of a sudden they like flake out. They just stop doing it. They stop, they just stop doing everything that you thought that they were behind, everything that you thought that they believed in. And then you end up getting into this whole identity crisis thing, and it's a very sad time, right? So, number one, you have to choose someone who's committed to their vision. Number two, someone who has a good track record. Someone who in the past has a good reputation for doing what they're doing. So this is what you have to do when you're choosing a leader. Number three is someone who protects their team. I remember, guys, something I didn't know my manager at work was doing, and then he just said it in passing, and I was so grateful that he was doing that, right? So it turns out that there was a problem going on, and for that problem, it was with a group that was on the other side of the world, right? So for him to help solve that problem, he had to be on the phone very late at night so he can talk to those people, right? Because the people on the other side of the world are 12 hours time difference. So that means like right now it's 7:50 p.m. Over there it's like 8 o'clock, 7:50 a.m. It's 8 o'clock in the morning over there. So I said, oh, that's interesting. If you need me to be on those calls, let me know. And he said, no, I wasn't going to subject you to that. So it turns out that over time, he was like really busy doing all these late night calls, and he was protecting my time and not letting me have to deal with all that if I didn't have to. So that was something that I really valued in following him, right? So the same thing, another thing that's very important is that we see here that some of the servants are very quick to protect us and to defend us. So, and how many of you like it when your parents go complain to any of the servants and the servants defend you and say that you're really good, don't worry, he's wonderful or she's wonderful. It's such a great feeling to have that, right? So a good leader protects their team. Number 4, a good leader is willing to spend time to develop you. A good leader is willing to spend time to develop you. When you are choosing a leader, you need to find someone who will sit down with you and help you to grow. It's not just, you can't just follow people who everyone else is following. You can't just follow people who just seem like you just want to be like them and that's it. But you need to follow someone who will sit down with you and spend the time with you to help you to grow, to work on those little things that you're confused about in your own life. Number 5 is someone who can admit making a mistake and apologize. There are maybe 3, I'd say just to simplify it, 2 very important phrases that everybody needs to have at their, actually 3, I'll say all 3, that you have to have like at the tip of your tongue whenever you're doing anything in life. Number 1 is thank you. Number 2 is I'm sorry. And number 3 is no. So thank you, I'm sorry, and no. So you have to be able to say thank you. I'm okay, maybe let me not be so dramatic. I'm a little disappointed that when we're eating here where do we eat? What is the place? At the cafeteria, yes. So at that place where you eat, called the cafeteria nowadays. So when we eat at the cafeteria and there's people coming to serve us and give us food, some of us are as if like these people are our slaves or something, right? Like, yeah, can I have some more hamburgers? Yeah. And the person comes and they're like sweating and they're running to give you the hamburgers and you don't even acknowledge that they brought the hamburgers, and then you're like, what? You didn't bring ketchup? What's wrong with you, right? That's what you got. So I'm a little sad that us as fellow Christians, by the way, all the people that serve us here are volunteers. They're not getting paid. So I'm very disappointed that some of us are not saying thank you. Saying thank you is one of the best ways to pay people back for the work that they do. Just say thank you, okay? Number 2 is just say I'm sorry. You will be so surprised how many of us make mistakes every day. Actually, you won't be, maybe you'll be surprised, but we all make mistakes every day. But how many of us say those 2 words, I'm sorry, or 3 words, I am sorry, right? How many of us say, I'm sorry? A lot of us don't. So I'll tell you guys, remember when I was telling you in integrity that you have to clean up the mess? Remember that? Yes? Who here is sleeping? Are you guys awake? Great. Remember when I was telling you have to clean up the mess? One of the first ways to clean up the mess is just say, I'm sorry. Sometimes that's all somebody wants to hear, that you admit your own fault. The third word is we have to say no, right? No is a very important word to say. Do you guys know, we were talking about Steve Jobs as a leader, and I was reading an article in this journal called The Economist, right? And it's talking about, Steve Jobs right after he passed away, and it was talking about one of the things that was very important in his work as the CEO of Apple. And one of the things it said that almost every day he had to say no so many more times than saying yes. And why was it? Because every time one of his engineers would come up to him and say, hey, what do you think about making the I orange juice, right? Or making the I microphone, right? Or making the I, wall or something, right? And so people go up to him and they have all these ideas. But he as a leader, has to pick the ones that are going to work. So he has to say no so many times. And us as leaders and followers, and because every good follower is a leader, us as followers and leaders, we have to say no a lot. People are like, hey, do you want to hang out when you really have to study? No. Hey, do you want to come, buy this thing and you don't have any money? No. Hey, do you want to come hang out on Sunday morning? No, I have to go to church. You have to say no so many times. There's so many decisions you have to make, and you have to say no. All right, great. So what are the 3 things? Thank you. I'm sorry, and no. Very good. No. All right. No. So number 6 is a good leader builds leaders. If you see a leader and there are no leaders coming out from under that leader, then that leader is not a good leader. A good leader builds leaders. Number 7, a good leader will do the right thing no matter how hard it is to do it. A good leader will always do the right thing. One question that I find very good to ask when you're faced with a difficult decision is, what's the right thing to do? That is a very important question. What is the right thing to do? You can think about all the other options. As long as you have that one option in front of you, what is the right thing to do? Number 8, a good leader lives a balanced life. So if you find that you have a leader, I'm going to tell you very simply, guys. I'm going to tell you, it's somewhat difficult to hear. If you see one of us servants, and the only time you see us, and we're at church 24/7, and we just serve and sing tasbihah, and you know, we wear our badrashin on our heads all day, and we just play the cymbals whenever somebody asks us a question, and we just sit at a chair and just keep reading the Bible, but we're not doing well at school, we're not doing well at work, we don't have a big social life, our families are upset with us, you shouldn't follow that servant, right? You need to have someone who lives a balanced life. As St. John said, he said, "Beloved, I pray that you prosper in all things, just as your soul prospers," right? So a good leader has a balanced life. In all things, he or she is prospering. Number 9, this one, guys, is big time. I could spend a whole retreat talking about this, is that a good leader is emotionally intelligent. What in the world does it mean to be emotionally intelligent? So someone who's emotionally intelligent can understand the emotions of the person that they're interacting with, and they also understand their own emotions. You know, guys, you will be so surprised. There are some people in some scenarios, they work so well. And you put those same people in different scenarios, and the same work, but just different scenarios, and they work so ineffectively. And sometimes you'll find that you can be so upset or so angry at very simple situations. One time I was at work, and this was a few years ago, and one time I was just sitting in front of my manager, and my manager said to me, "Hey Makar, what's your opinion about this," right? And all of a sudden, for some reason, I just froze up, and I had no idea what to say. Even though I can talk, you see I could talk for 58 minutes and 30 seconds. So I can talk forever, right? But for some reason, when I was sitting with that manager, I couldn't say anything. So there was something going on emotionally inside that kept me from being free to express myself. And over time, I figured out what that was. So what we need to do and what we need to look for in a leader is someone who's perceptive to that part of life. This is very important. And if you find like you're not being understood, you should know that there's a mistake. And Abu Antonio always tells me a very simple tip. He says, Makar, if someone ever tells you the following, you know you're not listening. If somebody says you don't understand, then you're not listening. So this is something that if you feel like you're not being understood, then there's an issue, okay? And if you don't understand, like not something, just technical and intellectual, if you don't understand, you should listen more. Last one, guys, what to look for in a leader is someone who's compatible with you, okay? The reason is because all these 9 things that I just mentioned, any personality can do them, okay? That's why I said anybody can be a leader, anybody can be a follower. So anybody can do these things, but you need someone who does those things and flows really well with you. So you can find somebody who has all these things and does all the stuff we're talking about, but their personality just doesn't really interest you, right? Like let's say it's really valuable to you to have someone who has a great sense of humor, right? So maybe there's somebody who has all these things but doesn't have a sense of humor. So maybe it might be hard to work with that person for a very long time or to follow that person. So this is something that I hope that you look for as well. Are there any questions about this slide? Because I think we are done. Wait.